What's up, YouTube? This is Tech Guy here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the reasons why I do not like my Apple Watch. And yes, I do have a sheet here. Have all the reasons why listed that we're going to talk about. So, let's jump right on it. So the first reason why I do not like my Apple Watch is that the notifications on... I did not mean to do that. The notifications on my watch are not very helpful. Because yeah, the notifications are cool. Apple brags about how you can reply, you can get notifications on your watch, but it just notifies you. I mean, like, you have to still, like, for instance, on Instagram or Facebook, it'll, like, if someone inboxes you on Instagram, it just tells you this person replied to you or messaged you. You cannot reply to that person from your watch when someone messaged you. It just tells you. Same with Facebook. Someone tagged you in a photo, it just tells you that someone tagged you in a photo. I mean, you can't do anything with it. It just lets you know. Which I think is kind of... I mean, it's kind of cool, but it's not really useful. It's just there. I mean, it doesn't really... I mean, if notifications remain there, I think that notifications should at least be useful. Not just there, because it's kind of a little bit vague. It's not really very helpful. Notifications they just tell you. It just says, oh, this happened, or someone texted. However, notifications on iMessage are pretty cool, that you can dictate and send animations, so, I mean, that's good. But yeah, a lot of the notifications on an Apple Watch are not very helpful. They're just vague. So that's one of the reasons. The next reason is the Apple Watch is very slow. And like the Apple Watch requires your iPhone to work anyways. Sometimes, I mean, I think it does kind of depend on the connection of the iPhone itself, because a lot of times when I'm looking up the weather, it is slow. It is very slow. When I try to look at something, sometimes it even freezes and the app will crash or something. So it's kind of annoying. It's very slow, and I'm like get to a point where I'm just not looking at the watch anymore, and I'm looking on my phone when I need to look up something on an app or on the watch. So I need to look it up on my phone anyways. The third reason is the lack of third-party bands. Most of the every single band made is only by Apple. They don't have third-party bands, and you know Apple makes expensive bands. And I would like to be able to buy a band that's not expensive, because I wanted to buy that new band that just came out, and it's too expensive. It's $50. I'm like, heck no! I already paid $300 for a watch. I'm not paying another $50. I'm like, screw that! I'm not doing that. So that's one other thing. I'm hoping that third party will make more bands, because there's not a variety of being able to pick different bands for the watch. And plus, when you do want to pick a band, it's by Apple, and it's expensive. I'm not going to waste money on that. I don't think it's worth it. The fourth reason is the lack of sound. Now, the other thing I don't understand, I mean, I guess they didn't really do because I thought it was unnecessary, because the speaker on this thing is kind of vague anyways, but even like for Siri, for instance, when you activate Siri, it doesn't speak. And Siri's slow on it too. Let's just test it and see. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. You see how slow that is? That's what I'm talking about. Back to kind of when I'm saying it's slow, but Siri's not even being responsive right now, and my phone is right next to me. That is another pet peeve I do not like. Look, it's still trying to load. Wow. My phone is right next to me, and my Bluetooth is on. I don't know why it's not working. That is another reason why the Apple Watch can be a pain, because it has a bad connection. That's why. You know what we're going to do? We're going to try it again. That was... Alright. That's why, because it wasn't connected. Let's try this. Hey Siri. Well, it worked that time, so I guess I could take kind of back what I said. It just wasn't connected to Bluetooth, but there is times where it does do that. It does. Based on how close the phone is to the watch, well, based on the connection. If the phone is very far away from the watch, it'll be very slow. It has happened because I've tried it. But I'm sorry, at that point I thought it was a problem, but really what it was is it just wasn't connected. But it does do that. I have seen it. It does do that at times. So just kind of forget that just happened. But it does do that a lot of times. It is slow. But yeah, back to what I was trying to say is the lack of sound. The music, it's cool, but again, a lot of the features to the watch are just there. They're not useful. They're not useful. Yeah, you can control music and play music from it, but you have your phone, which you can play music off of your phone anyways. So that is kind of questionable, too. But you can't play music from the watch anyways. You have to play music on your phone, but I'm hoping that there'll be more sound that I'll be able to play out of this because there's not very much sound coming out of it. The speaker is very quiet. Moving on. The next reason is the display is too small. Yeah, I got a small display anyways. I got a 38mm, so yeah, it is small. But I even looked at the 48, and the 48's still kind of small too. But again, Apple's so expensive, so I just wanted to go with the best, cheapest watch, and this is still expensive. But it is kind of a pain a little bit because the display is so small. The display is so small because look how big the display is compared to my finger. It's like half the size of my finger. So when I want to do something, if I'm driving, I already said this on another video, but I'll mention it again. If I'm driving and I'm trying to open an app, I might hit a wrong app, and I've done that a few times. The display is so small that I can't even open up the app that I'm trying to open up, that I'm trying to look for, which can kind of get annoying. But I guess that's something I really can't help because I got the smaller model, but still, it's still expensive. Next reason is there's a very much lack of third-party apps. There are not very much games. The only games I showed you, and these are the best ones that I tried looking for. There probably are more I just haven't heard of or something, but the ones that I just looked up, Apple Watch games, and these are the top apps that came up. The one right there that I showed you about, let me focus it. The one right there. It's not focusing. Forget it. The first one was Trivia Crack. The second one was Tic-Tac-Toe. Those are the top two games that I looked at all of them, and those are the best ones. There's not very many apps to play games. Now, again, I know this isn't a watch or a device that's going to be able to handle high-quality graphic games, but still, there are not very much games you can do. Aside from the lack of features that the Apple Watch has itself, there are not very much games either. For the watch, so I'm hoping that. I know it's just a year, so we've still got much more time. But I'm hoping that developers will start coming out with more games for the watch. Next, right, and the last comment is the lack of functions for the most part, or most of the functions do require iPhone. For instance, maps. Camera, photos, phone, weather. Let's see what else, because I can't remember all the apps at the top of my head. Mail, calendars, music, Apple Pay. There's probably more. Stocks, the Apple Store app, Instagram. There's so many apps that require iPhone that the Apple Watch can't even function. Yeah, that's what they advertise. Yeah, because the Apple Watch does have to work with an iPhone, which is kind of annoying because I like to, for once in a while, because I always have to have my phone on me when I want the Apple Watch to function the way I want it to. It's kind of annoying that I always have to have my phone on me, and I would like for once in a while to be able to put my phone down. The only apps that really work without my phone are the fitness app and those games. That's it. That's all that works that I can do without my phone, which is kind of a pain. I don't like having to have my phone on me all the time. So I hope Apple will fix that and make more features available without required of iPhone, because it is kind of a pain having to do that. But yeah, those are all my reasons why I do not like the Apple Watch. And I will be making another video that you can check out reasons why I do like the Apple Watch. So you can go ahead and check that out. My link is in the description to that video if you'd like to see it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Thank you guys for watching.